Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today, start of a new week. And today I was listening to a podcast on Greg Isenberg's Startup Ideas podcast, which is quite good. What I love about Greg's work is that he really shares ideas freely. He gets people on who share their screens and demonstrate different tools, how they're using AI to create different results. And he's definitely a guy that just loves experimenting with new technology and encourages to do so as well. So I really like his approach and how he shares things so transparently. On the episode I listened to today, I think this is sort of more of a visual episode, but I think I got the hang of what the guest was trying to share was basically how to use AI agents to do a lot of vibe marketing. So vibe marketing, let's talk about vibe coding first. Now you don't really need to know any coding skills. You can go to websites and just say, hey, build me an app that does, that sends me a recipe every morning to be healthy, right? And you put that prompt in to a site and it generates it for you. So you don't need to know any code. You can be very prescriptive around the type of workflow you're after and things like that. Marketing is quite similar. You just put in a prompt like, hey, I want you to create content every day on this topic. I want you to research the top performing YouTube videos in this niche. And then based on what you know about me, generate posts. So basically you could have like a 24/7 machine that just produces content for you, publishes to LinkedIn, your platform of choice. It can be all automated. And so in this episode, the guy was just walking through how he does it. And when he read the results of, so what he did was, he got these AI agents. He set up an automated workflow where he's like, I want you to research on X and YouTube. I want you to do some research on this topic. I want you to bring it all together, use my brand voice, and I want you to write it to pretend that you're a conversion copywriter, a LinkedIn strategist, and I want you to write this LinkedIn post. And when he read out the post at the end, considering the tool done all that research, it wasn't that great of a post, I didn't think. And then you can also use it to generate images, and all of this is happening and automatically posting. And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, very cool technology, I love it. And possibly I might use it, but not to the 24/7 degree. I might use it to test ideas on a platform like X or something. I feel like LinkedIn, I have to be the person, Leanne, and not do automation. I just don't think that would work for me. But I would love to test ideas on other platforms and see what actually resonates with people. So that's how I'm thinking about it. But what has put me off LinkedIn recently is just the slurry that is on there at the moment. A lot of it is AI generated content. There's more and more rubbish, I think, that's being posted that just is meaningless or doesn't link to someone's personal experience or a story. And so I've actually spending a lot less time on LinkedIn, even though it's been in terms of performance for my brand and my business, it's been number one. For social media platforms, it's been the one that's really driven that over the years. But what's that saying? What got you here won't get you there. I'm just curious to see what will happen to LinkedIn. Still love it. I still think it's absolutely relevant. I'm just curious in a year or two what's going to happen. Substack for me has been a really great place to just hang out, read content, engage with people. It seems very genuine. Yes, I think there are some AI supported posts and articles, but I don't think completely 100% generated, which is unlike LinkedIn. And I guess what I'm also seeing on LinkedIn is just the automated responses to posts as well, which, a year or two ago you'd get messages to your inbox and things like that, that obviously were automated, but now it's just kind of getting a bit of beyond a joke. I'll put up a post and someone I don't even know is responding to it, and in a very AI robotic way. So am I glad they commented because it boosts the algorithm? So many things are coming up now. And so, I'm just curious. This tool sounds really great. I'm definitely going to spend some time this week. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to watch the recording on YouTube and just open up the tools and sit there and just see how this person's doing it. I probably won't use the exact workflow that he was using, but I think if you're doing research for things like books, it's amazing. So you can go in and go, what are the highest performing posts? And any great content creator will do that. But in the past, it would take you quite a while, hours to research all these clips and figure out what your point of difference is. So I could do it with something like Amazon, right? I could go into Amazon and go search the top performing business books on leadership as an example. Read all the reviews, go to the Reddit threads about this book, find out what the patterns are, why people like it, and then what is actually missing. That's what you do with a book proposal. You're basically doing that. You're comparing top performing books and thinking, okay, this is my book in this topic and here's a point of difference. So I think these tools are really useful for stuff like that. But, I'm even going to a point of are books even relevant? I'm curious. I haven't actually looked at research on Amazon in terms of how prolific book publications are now. Like, has it soared 200% in the last year because of AI? Yeah, there's so much in that. I still think books are really interesting because it's fascinating when I just talk to people in organizations and I have a book like that. It still seems like, wow, that's such an amazing thing. I guess it's like the magician that doesn't show their tricks, but like, you know, going behind the scenes, if you can write a PDF and format a PDF, you have a book. So yeah, just releasing the magic right now. So really fascinating times. I am loving this idea of the $1 billion business creator. I would love to be that person. I think we all would. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, you have this army of marketers and agents that are doing the work on your behalf. But I think it still comes back to building an audience. If everyone's doing that, building an audience, hyping up the problem, making it relevant, you know, there's still traditional methods that go behind that part. But anyway, I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm keeping my head up. I'm listening every day to podcasts like this, YouTube videos, because I'm just so curious around what's around the corner. Anyway, that's a thought for today. Thanks for listening. I'll speak to you tomorrow.